Biggest trend right now is that the boss is in Nairobi, and we promised you that once he lands, we're going to be having him live in studio. We have him live on location. He is a 5-time Grammy-nominated rap megastar. He's an entrepreneur. He's a Maybach music head honcho. He's a lot of things. He's a big man himself. And just like David Letterman's show on Netflix, he needs no introduction, but he's here. Hey, Rick Ross.
What's up, love? What's up?
So happy to have you in studio.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. And I was trying to count the tattoos while you were sitting there. I was just like, I don't know if I can count all of them. Are you going to get one in Nairobi?
I might need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will. So I should say welcome to Wakanda, right?
Wakanda, you better believe it.
Wakanda forever. And I, noticed that you really do love, wings. Have you had a chance to try out any of our wings?
I haven't. What I have eaten so far, though, was delicious. I done had a few different things, but I ain't through for the night yet, so we got to stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. The hashtag is here. I'm hanging out with Rick Ross. This is such a big deal. Something big that's happening all around the world. Everyone's talking about McMeal. How'd you feel about that? Where were you when you got the news?
I got, as soon as the Supreme Court overturned the decision and gave him an opportunity to post bond, I got a call from the team, from the family. So I knew a few hours before the word actually broke. I was just happy, because I knew my brother deserved to be home with his family, working, doing what he do best, and I understood, the position and the obstacles he up against, it's unjust.
Yeah. And you sent him back, I think it was 2009. He had just come out of prison. And people might not know this, but his name is Robert Williams and your name is Williams Robert. And that's super cool, right? Yeah. Another big story has got to be Kanye West. So Kanye's trending. He always is. But this time round, the one tweet that got everyone talking was, and I don't know if you saw it, when he was talking about Trump and almost siding with him. What are your thoughts about that?
I respect his individuality as well as I'm sure he'll respect mine not agreeing with him, Yeah.
Okay. Now, you've signed very big artists, Wale, who's I think from like Nigeria or somewhere here in Africa, and French Montana and all of these other guys, and they've become such big names. How do you feel about that when you see them?
I feel, I'm happy for them. You know what I mean? I'm happy, and I feel like, their brightest days are yet to come. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they all stars. Wale, he's so passionate. He's something that the culture needs. His mind is so beautiful. He's a poet. He writes amazing poetry. The records that he write, expressing himself for women it's touching.
Yeah. And speaking about women, you're really big on women. I mean, other than the fact that you love them, you're also really passionate about empowering women. And you once said how on Maybach Music, women hold one of the most executive positions. Why is this so important to you?
I think that began with my mother. I believe it began with my mother, and now my sister. She plays a major role in my team and a lot of plays that we make. So I believe in starting with your household. You know what I mean? Keeping the family involved, and I most definitely respect. Although a woman's mind is so delicate, it's so powerful at the same time, and once you understand that, it's so useful.
Yeah, you've touched on family. Let's talk about family. You love your daughter. Your family. You love your kids to bits. And you used to send her flowers every other month, and was it every day or every month? And you take her on dates. Do you still do that?
Yeah. We still have dates. She be busy now. You know what I mean? She be busy now, but we still sit down and have our little me time. And she just celebrated her 16th birthday, and I'm just glad she enjoyed it. And I just let her know she real special to me.
Yeah. We talk to our kids, and the conversations we have here in Africa is very different, unfortunately, to the conversations that you have with your kids because they're of color and everything that's happening with racism and Black Lives Matter and all of that. Do you talk to your kids and get them prepared for what the world, is about?
Most definitely. I pretty much have conversations with my children, especially my daughter, being that she's coming of young adulthood, about all the current events. I want to get her opinion, and she a lot of people call her little mini me. You know what I mean? So she knows how I feel about a lot of things. She knows I'm firm on the things I believe in, and we gotta win. And whatever gonna keep you in position to win, that's what you and what you love to do most. That's what I want to see you do, and that's what I expect from her.
Yeah. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind. So, you know, the voice to your label, Maybach Music, she became a bigger story at some point. Did you see that? Where'd you get her? Where'd you meet her? Like, how did that happen?
You know, it was just one of those things that just happened in the studio one night. And, you know, that was the intro to me and Jay-Z first collaboration on Maybach Music 1. And it just sounded so dope. Yeah. And we just put it in front of another record or two, and you know, it just kind of caught on. It was just one of them things that, you know, it wasn't a lot of thought behind it. It just organically grew, and you know, we just kept riding with it.
Yeah. So let's talk about music. So first of all, you have a new album coming out, right? Port of Miami 2. Why 2? Why did you need to do a second album? And also, if you talk about, you know, the big names that have come out of Miami, you know, from Trina to Trick Daddy to just all of these names that came out, you took it to a whole nother level. Do you know that you did that?
I mean, you know, I just keep hustling. I keep grinding. I took notes from everybody. You know, I'm not afraid to say I took notes from Trick Daddy. I watched Trina. As sweet as her heart is, she's such a sweet person. That's why I love Trina to death. She always been supportive of me. My first video I ever was on was a record that I collaborated with Trina, and you know, I just took bits and pieces from everybody, from Luke, from JT Money, Poison Clan, you know, the list goes on, and I commend all the youngsters, all the Kodak Black, the Denzel Currys, the, you know, the Triple C's. And you know, Sam Sneak, my DJ, he's an artist making his own records now, and you know, it's just encouraging to me as well, just to see the ball keep rolling.
And you're inspiring a generation of young bosses. And here in Africa, you being an entrepreneur, are you going to be investing in businesses, maybe even music, open up shop, MMG?
You know, I'm always open-minded. I just want to win, you know, so you never know. You never know. When y'all see me out here, make sure you holler at me. I seen some incredible art. I seen some beautiful furniture. I just love the hustlers, and I love to see people create. Because as black people, we love to consume, but we got to make sure we creating more than we consume.
All right. So Port of Miami 2, you were talking about that.
Yeah, I just felt my career came full circle when I completed my first album. Who would have imagined album number 10? You know, so I just felt I came full circle. Now it's time. You know, that was always a lot of people's favorite record. I wanted my city name to be in the title of my first album. So, you know, when I was thinking what I'm going to title my album, you know, I was like, yo, this the Port of Miami. And a lot of people may not understand that, but, you know, that's the port. That's where a lot of things come and go. Yeah.
Now, something that people may not know is that you are a Christian. And when I say Christian, I mean that you pray every day. And no matter how much success you have amassed after all of this time, you're still a big believer.
Right. I'm a huge believer in just believing, you know, and following your faith, you know, whether if you my right-hand man, my closest friend Jabbar, my Muslims that surround me every day, you know, and when I see them get down and pray all day, that just remind me to just throw one in the sky, you know what I'm saying, for the big homie, because I take knowledge from, I take knowledge from everywhere if it's going to help me be a better person.
I like that. You're full of positive energy, and you've been so humble and so cool and so nice since you've been here with us. Who sort of, you know, takes you through how to be with other people, being as big as you are now?
I think that just come from, you know, I wasn't one of the young stars that just took off at the beginning. You know, it was I seen the struggle. I know what it's like to not have. So I understand all that. And, you know, those dozen years that I had to get ready for this before I actually got on, after I got on, much didn't change about the way I moved or the hard work I put in. I could never deny that. I could never forget those days, regardless of how, you know, fruitful things can be. I still remember that hustle.
All right. So I know you've got to go to sound check, but I do want to ask you a few more questions. These are going to be really quick. And also, I can't believe we did this interview and you didn't do. So where did that come from, Roz? Like,
I'm gonna be honest. I think it wasn't nothing I ever thought of. It was just me being in the studio, and when I hear something, and You know, like, you better feel this. I hope you know this real. We you know, I'm gonna stand on this. And that was just, I think that was just the sound I made that just expressed that.
Wait, so how do you do it? Teach me. You do right?
Yeah, it got to come from the gut. You know what I'm saying? When you say something that you really mean, I hope you mean, you know, I mean that.
All right, so I want to teach you a few things. So you have to say, when you're performing tomorrow on stage, you have to say Mambo VP.
Mambo VP.
Watu wangu.
Wantu wangu.
And then something else, if you say, no, I can't teach you Lambalolo. That was like, hey, what's up, my people. Okay. Yeah, what's up, my people, right? Before people torture me on social media. Yeah, so that's what it is. So you say Mambo VP Watu wangu.
Mambo VP Wantu wangu.
Yay! So that if you do that, the stage is gonna shut down. All right. So now your favorite scripture, Psalms 27:1-4. Why?
When I actually just was going through the Bible and I went across it, and when I read it, Psalm 27, you know, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? When I first, the Lord is the light. I'll be afraid. When I just went through it, I really felt like I interpreted that, you know, from a lot of violence that was going on in my community. I took that as, wow, that was something that I needed to, we can't fear even whatever it is, you know what I mean? Even if today was my last day, if it was my time to go, if it was my time for demise, I can't fear that. I got to accept that. Yeah. And that's what it is. And that's how I took it. I tattooed that on me as well, and it stayed with me.
Oh, wow, the whole scripture. All right. You're a big fan of Adele?
I am.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you sing any of her songs?
I doubt it. If they was playing, I could just vibe with them. You know what I'm saying? But you know, her voice was always amazing. She was always an amazing artist, and you know, I just always love those big voices, that Whitney Houston, that suck all the air out of the room voices. I always love those voices. Yeah. Ice
Cube, your favorite rapper. Name your top 5.
My top 5 could possibly be, this just me off the top of my head. I would say Jay-Z. I would say JT Money of the Poison Clan. I would say 8 Ball MJG. Wayne is most definitely somebody that I love listening to as well. And you know, the list, it changes for me all the time because I love really a lot of different things about a lot of different people. It could be 3 6 Mafia, it could be Player Fly, yeah, it could be Trick Daddy. You know, just I love just so much different.
It could be Dirk, it could be anybody, even the new cats.
Yeah, most definitely, even the new cats. You know, I just listened to the new J. Cole album. You know, Wale just released his EP. You know, same way when I heard Meek Mill for the first time, I was like, wow, it's something we got to do.
And speaking about new things, you did a big tune with them, and you say big tune. I saw you also did one with Conscience, but you did a song with them, and you have to perform it. It's pretty big. I don't know if it's big in the States, but it's really big here.
They most definitely recognize it, and I was glad I did it. You know what I mean? It's all about spreading your hustle, spreading your wings, and like I said, I love different genres of music. So I want to make sure I kind of spread myself out as well. So I was glad to do that collaboration.
Yeah. All right. And then also Renzel, is he still there?
Renzel ain't went nowhere. One of my new aliases is Ravioli right now.
What is Ravioli? Where did that come from?
You know, just that cheese, that pasta, baby. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I was watching reruns of Miami Vice today. Do you watch any other shows on TV that you love right now?
You know, Forensic Files. Yeah. First 48, Forensic Files, American Greed. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I love watching negativity. I don't know what it is, but I actually learn something. I take something away from Lock Up Raw, and you know, seeing those dudes, and you know, dudes who don't have a second opportunity. I try to take some of that energy and make sure anytime I'm finna possibly make a bad decision, think about some of that, and maybe that could help me. So. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're big on energy. When you're stressed in the studio, you play video games. Which one is your favorite video game?
You know, I got an arcade, so I love the old video games. You know what I'm saying? I still love the old Madden, the old pinball machines, the old Double Dragon. You know what I mean? So for everybody who had the Nintendo before me when I was a kid, I still got them now. You know what I mean?
Look at me now. All right, and then also, final question, Ross. With everything that you have done and all of these names that you have brought into the industry and all of the other businesses that you have on this side, what do you want to be remembered for?
Just being a hustler. You know what I mean? Just bringing something to the table. You know, it ain't nothing really. I don't really put too much thought on that. You know what I mean? I just love that when somebody believe in me and sit down and we do a deal together or we come to an agreement, I love to see their dreams come to fruition.
Oh, wow. You should look in the camera and tell them that.
Yeah, most definitely. I think, you know, my actions speak that. So for all the artists that I've assigned and pushed in, you know, from Wale, Meek Mill, French Montana, you know, and the list goes on from everybody that I ever collaborated with. You know, I only wish them nothing but the best and support them, whether, you know, they got a #1 record on the Billboard charts or if they're incarcerated. Either way, the support from Rose stay the same.
All right. So there you go. If you're an artist and you're trying to make it out there, are you going to open up shop here in Africa? Please do. I asked you about. Please do. Yeah? Should we hashtag Rick Ross open up a label in Africa? I think that's what we should start. But tomorrow you perform as we bid you goodbye. You said we're making history and people should come out.
You better believe it. If you're watching this, you better be there to see this performance. Ricky Rose, energy. It's going to be huge.
There you go. The boss has said, why is my gut not working? Like I don't understand. I'm trying. I'm like, it's not coming out. But I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being with us. Make sure that you catch him tomorrow. He's gonna be performing at the Energy Wave, and he's officially in Nairobi. If you didn't believe it, well now you do.